Our theme for 2026 is Open at the Top. This month, our focus is Higher, Deeper Love. Today's message is, I want to know what love is, which we'll be giving by our own, and right now our only, religious practitioner, Tamara. We're so glad that you joined us today. Please feel free to add to the chat or in the comments any prayer requests or celebrations that you would like to have included later in the service when we provide our community spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. We invite you to get comfortable and relax into this moment as we will officially begin our service with this welcome video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless the sacred. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
Now, here's Tamara with today's meditation.
All right, here we go. So as always, we're going to start by settling into our chair a little deeper. Relax your shoulders, relax your spine. And let's take a deep breath in and hold and release. And again, a deep breath in and hold and release. So for today's meditation, I chose the Let It Flow meditation. So as we go into this complete state of relaxation, I invite you to contemplate this phrase, go with the flow. Kind of makes me think of that image that you might be seeing on the screen of that flowing river. Go with the flow. And what I'd like you to do is create an image in your mind. And I want you to picture a leaf as it flows along with the current of the stream in a forest on a beautiful day. And this is really triggering a memory for me, standing beside a beautiful stream and just watching a leaf come floating, floating by. The sun is shining. The trees are covered with most glorious array of colors. There's gold and red and orange and green. And you are just filled with peace as you watch this leaf just gently float by and continue its journey downstream. It has no worries to where it's going. It just floats along with the current. And in this relaxed state of mind, I'm going to invite you to repeat these phrases after me. I am like this leaf. Float along with the current. I am the instrument through which life flows. My life is filled with abundance. I accept that which is ready to express through me. I release thoughts of limitation. Take a moment to savor this feeling of complete peace. Life is an instrument through which life flows. I am the instrument through which life flows. There is abundance. It's limitless. I know my worth. Everything that I want in life also wants me. It is seeking me, just as I am seeking it. I give love freely, and I am able to receive love. There are people in my life who love me, who support me, who lift me up when I need lifting up. In all things, I feel God's presence. I am divinely guided. I am safe. I am whole. And I am perfect, just as I am. No matter what day brings me, I greet it with open arms. Because I know that I am safe. I am blessed. I am loved. There are no limitations. I am at peace. I am a blessing to myself, to everyone I contact, and to the day in which I. And with that, just hold these wonderful, wonderful feelings of peace. Travel down that river as leaves, just gently going with the flow. And when you can, open your eyes and join us. We have Leah live today, and she is ready to go. All right, Leah, I turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Tamara. That made me think of several songs, but I definitely want to honor the title of today's talk with one that's probably familiar, so when you know, please sing along. I gotta take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. Now this mountain I must climb feels like the world upon my shoulders. Through the clouds I see love shine. It keeps me warm when life gets colder. In my life I've had heartaches and pain. I don't know if I can face that again. I can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life. And I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me, and I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me. I'm gonna take a little time to look around me. I got nowhere left to hide. Looks like love has finally found me. In my life I've seen heartache and pain, and I don't know if I can face it again. Can't stop now. I traveled so far to change this lonely life, and I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me, and I wanna feel what love is. Now I know what love is. You to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I know you can show me.
Amazing, amazing. As always, thank you so much, Leah. Really appropriate to sing that song today with the title of our talk, I Want to Know What Love Is. Heidi. So my daughter Heidi, when she started her first semester at VCU as a graphic arts major, she and her peers were challenged with a question: what is art? and they spent the entire first semester at Top today. I want to know what art is. And at the end of today's message, I'm going to share with you what they discovered about art. So stay tuned. I want to know what love is. Instead of exploring the question, what is art? We're going to spend our service today exploring the question, what is love? Do you want to know what love is? According to our founder, Ernest Holmes, this is what he had to say on the topic. There is but one ultimate force in the universe. The strong driving force is love. This love is more than an emotional sentiment, although it must include all such emotional sentiments. It is the pure essence of divine givingness. And you can find that on How to Use the Science of Mind, page 59. And I want to go back to that last sentence that I shared. It is the pure essence of divine givingness. What do we say in our opening video? As we give, so shall we receive. And I really like that he talked about what is love. It's the act of giving. It's the act of also being open to receiving. So, be present in the uncomfortable and the good. It challenges us to recognize that divine love isn't solely for those joyous moments, because love is the very essence of reality, the fundamental fabric of existence. It must, by its nature, be present in all experiences, even those that we label as uncomfortable or painful. And these expanded awarenesses of love don't deny or ignore the difficulty. Instead, it aligns us with life itself, revealing a deeper current beneath the surface of circumstances. So the moments of pain, of challenge, of discomfort are invitations to acknowledge the profound paradox of love in and of ourselves. We can use these moments to discover that our inherent loving nature is not diminished by struggle. Instead, it's often in these uncomfortable places that our capacity for compassion and resilience and true self-acceptance grows, deepens, and becomes so much stronger. We can use these moments to realize that to fully embrace love is to embrace the totality of our human experience, holding both the imperfections and the joys within the vast, unconditional presence of the One. Embracing this truth means consciously choosing to see the underlying divine givingness in all of who we are and in every situation. This practice allows us to go beyond mere emotions and can often be fleeting or reactive, and instead engage with life from a place of unconditional, universal, divine love. It empowers us to find peace and presence, knowing that love is the constant, unwavering truth of our being and for the world around us. So that's what I was provided in the title for today. And now, as promised, I'm going to tell you a story that I hinted at in last week's service. Last Sunday, I provided a little teaser, and I told you that I read an amazing story about a Jewish man who demonstrated this unconditional love that I was just telling you about. So we heard from Ernest Holmes, and we heard what we believe is a practice, but here's a true story where this actually is happening, where someone took those words and brought them to life. So in 1991, 35 years ago, the Grand Dragon of the Nebraska Ku Klux Klan mailed a Jewish family death threats and told them that their days were numbered. The father of this family, Michael Weiser, was a cantor, a singer who leads his congregation in prayer at their synagogue. And he and his wife, Julie, had just moved their family to Lincoln, Nebraska, in order to serve a new community. They were unpacking boxes and settling into their new home when the packages started arriving. Hate literature, anti-Semitic pamphlets, neo-Nazi flyers, and they were arriving at their home address, which meant that the sender knew who they were and where they lived. And then the phone calls began. The voice on the other end didn't identify himself, but he didn't need to. The Weislers knew the caller. They knew that he was the sender of the packages. And he told them over the phone, "You'll be sorry that you ever moved to Nebraska. Your days are numbered." The caller was a man named Larry Trapp, the Grand Duke of the Nebraska KKK, one of the most active white supremacist organizers in the Midwest. Trapp also operated a local hate hotline, broadcasting recorded anti-Black and anti-Semitic messages to anyone who called that number. And he spent more than 20 years building a life around organized hatred, threatening multiple minority communities across the state of Nebraska. So what did Michael Weiser do? Did he call the police? Move his family to a safer community? Ignore the threats and pray that this person would stop and just go away? Nope. He returned Trapp's call, not to confront him, not to match the anger and hatred with the same energy. He simply left a message on Trapp's answering machine. "Hi, Larry. I just wanted you to know that you must be a very unhappy man. There's a lot of love out there if you want it." Could you imagine doing such a thing? There was no response. This pattern continued for 3 whole weeks. Trapp calling, Weisler returning the calls, leaving the same positive messages of love. Not accusations, not arguments, just a human voice on the other end, refusing to be the enemy. One day, Trapp picked up the phone and he told Weisler, "Hey, knock it off. Stop calling me." There's irony in that, isn't there? And then he used language that was selected to end the conversation and the calls. But Weisler didn't flinch. He calmly said, "Larry, I know you're sick. I thought you might need a ride to the doctor sometime." Wow. There was a long pause. "How did you know that I'm sick?" Trapp questioned. Weiser wasn't making an educated hunch about Trapp's state of mind. He did some research, and he learned what only a few of Trapp's acquaintances knew. Larry Trapp was 44 years old, and he had diabetes. In fact, his diabetes was so severe that both of his legs had been amputated, and he was also going blind. He lived completely alone in a small apartment. He could not drive. He rarely left his home. and he had no one in his life to support him, just a network of hate that had given his life purpose and identity for more than 2 decades. He wasn't a powerful figure. He was a sick, weak, dying man who lived in a small, dirty apartment. And no one in the world was offering him anything except the ideology that his pain and loneliness was someone else's fault. Weiser saw that, and he decided that that mattered. So he and Julie arrived at Trapp's door one day unannounced, and they brought him a homemade dinner. They brought him a meal. A big shift was happening in Larry's life at this time. The Weislers weren't the only people who were trying to get through to him. At that time that Weisler was first getting called by Trapp, in November of that year, 2 incidents both greatly moved Trapp. First was Trapp's former nurse, Monica Coons, who sent him a letter explaining the concept of Christian love. Later, Trapp was brought to tears after a Vietnamese woman helped him onto the elevator one day when she noticed that he was blind. With these things piling up in his heart and in his life, Trapp decided to stop airing the show on his public broadcasting station. The first step. In an interview about his decision, he said that he was still a member of the Klan, but now he was blaming the government. On the following day, Weiser called Trapp and asked about the changes in his life. Trapp explained that he was trying to make changes, but he told Weiser that he did not want his help nor his friendship. 2 days later, his phone call arrived from Weiser because he had seen him on television, and Trapp had been screaming at reporters and using racial slurs. Weiser told him that he saw him on TV, and he questioned some of Trapp's hateful speech. Larry apologized. I kind of picture the Grinch, right? When his heart suddenly starts growing. He apologized to Weiser. Later that same night, Trapp called the Weisers, explaining that he wanted out, but he did not know how. Michael and Julie went over to Trapp's house to talk to him. When they arrived, Trapp handed over all his swastika rings, begging the Weisses to take them away. They gave him a ring in return that they had bought as a gift for him and had been keeping just until this moment occurred. And they spent the night eating dinner together and discussing Trapp's hate-filled past. What had brought him to this place? On November in 2019, Larry formally resigned from the Ku Klux Klan. He then wrote resignation letters to all the other hate groups that he belonged to. And after these resignations, he began sending apologies to all of the people he had been harassing. He even contacted law enforcement officials in order to give them information that he had about the Klan and the actions of its members. And during this process, the Weisers brought Trapp to their congregation. They cleaned his apartment and eventually to move in with them when his health began to fail. Even with his failing health, Trapp tried to persuade other clan members and incarcerated youth to follow. On June in 1992, Larry Trapp converted to Judaism at Michael Weiser's synagogue, a building that he had previously threatened to blow up. He died 3 months later, holding the hands of Michael and Julie Weiser. Michael Weiser knew something. Our relationship with love is our relationship with ourselves. We are being invited to bring a deeper, loving awareness to the entirety of our being. This isn't about selectively embracing only our good parts or others' good parts. It's about extending love to every facet of who we are, our strengths, our vulnerabilities, our shadows, our light, to the very best of our ability. And when we consciously choose to love ourselves in this expansive way, we begin the powerful, all of our seemingly separated parts and pieces. We connect with others. We recognize that our past experiences, our current emotions, and our future aspirations are all interwoven into the threads of the same magnificent tapestry. Through this process, we foster our inner harmony, allowing ourselves to unify our being and empower us to show up in the world. We get to witness the fullness of love in new and exciting ways within our own lives. It's not just a word, a concept anymore. It's a living, breathing experience. It shows up not only in moments of profound joy, but also in those quiet forgiveness. When we offer the unexpected kindness to someone, when we shift our perspective in a challenging moment, this fresh awareness allows us to feel a deeper connection to the universal flow of love that sustains us all. We're discovering that love truly is everywhere. And this realization is transforming how we experience ourselves and the world around us. So I have another story to share with you. This is a personal story. So yesterday I had the honor of attending a retirement party for a group of teachers whom I have known for many, many years. And it was a wonderful day filled with a lot of laughter and lots of great memories. I shared a story about one of our retirees, very memorable moment in my teaching experience with her. One day, many years ago, I sought her counsel. She was a very experienced special education teacher, and I had a student in my classroom whose behavior was odd, let's say. Really, really odd. And I could not identify what was his condition, what was the underlying factor for why he behaved as he behaved. So I went to her and I said, "Hey, can you fill me in on this student? Is it Tourette's? Is it ADHD? Is it ADD?" And she replied, "Oh, Tammy, he's just an ASS." I was stunned. I chuckled. I said, "Okay, I now know how to address this student. And when I shared the name of the student with the teachers at that retirement party, there was a loud and audible reaction from every single student, every single teacher. If you had this student, you remembered this student. He truly was one of our cruelest students to ever enter our school. I had to remove him one day from our classroom because he blatantly mocked a classmate who had been injured in a car accident and was left paralyzed from the waist down. When she shared that she loved taking her dog for a walk, he scoffed. Walks? You can't walk. And I've never forgotten that moment. But here's where the story takes a twist. The very same teacher who had told me that he was an ASS provided us with an update. She said, since we had last seen him, he had attended a military school, graduated from West Virginia University, had a good career, is married, and he has a daughter. And everyone in the room cheered. The teachers, the same teachers who, when they heard his name, went, oh, yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, oh, I remember him. When we heard that he had turned his life around, just like Larry Trapp, we all cheered and celebrated that news. In the Bible, it says, anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. Found in 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. God is love. And I've always taken that 3 words, God is love, and that is, I view as an equal sign. It's not God is loving, it's God is love. And that's an equal sign. So you're welcome to insert the word that you prefer for God, but let's keep our focus on that equal sign. The Bible also gives us the definition of agape love. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 8, the Apostle Paul describes the nature of genuine, unconditional love. You've heard this. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. God is love. So now I want to return, before I wrap things up, to my opening statement, my story of Heidi's first semester in college when she and her classmates were told to explore this question: what is art? After many, many weeks of searching, they came to this conclusion. What is art? Everything. Everything is art. If it stirs your emotions, if it speaks to you, if it makes you think, if it challenges what you think, then it's art. Did you hear about the banana that was duct taped to the wall? I hope you did. If you not, get ready for this one. In late 2024, cryptocurrency entrepreneur Justin Sun outbid competitors at Sotheby's, New York, to win this very unique piece of art. That's right. It was a banana duct taped to the wall. The title of this piece of art, I think, is very appropriate: Comedian. And it was created Catalan, Famously, it sold for, I hope you're sitting down, $6.24 million. A banana duct taped to a wall. I remember when my students came in talking about this news. Why would someone pay something like that? Because he saw it as art. So what is art? Everything is art, if that is how you choose to see it. You want to know what love is? Everything is love, if that is how you choose to see it. So here is our call to action. And I'm going to return to the script that was provided from our home office. Consider this. What is one small conscious choice that you can make each day to deepen or shift your relationship with love, allowing it to be more present in all circumstances, especially the uncomfortable ones? Perhaps you choose to pause for a breath of gratitude before reacting to a challenging conversation. Maybe you decide to offer yourself a moment of gentle self-compassion when you make a mistake. It could be as simply as truly listening without judgment to someone you disagree with, finding the shared humanity beneath the surface. You may decide to recognize a bit of grace in a difficult day. You may, and here I'm going to insert my own statement that I've been using since I watched those monks who made that long trek across our country, just simply say, today will be my peaceful day. Or change it. Today, I am love. I will give love. I will receive love. What is love? Everything is love. If that is how you choose to see it. And with that, it is time to go into our prayer. And I know I saw something pop up in the chat. So hang on one moment as I open that up. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Give me a pause. And let me make sure I just see one. So let me just make sure as I slide this down, as I try to slide this down. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. All right. Thank you so much for sharing those. All right. Here we go. Let's go into prayer. So there is only one power, one creator, one source, one reality, one divine presence, and it is the pure essence of divine love. It is perfect peace. It is perfect joy. It is perfect love. And this divine essence is all that is. There is only God. There is only love. Everything is love. And since there is only one, there is nothing that falls outside of that. There is nothing that is separate. There is no spot where God is not, is what we say. So I too am an expression of God. And from this place of unity, I speak my word now. This is the divine truth of who I am, and it is the divine truth of who you are too. And I know that God expresses only infinite good. God is the source of all good, so we simply open up our minds to receive the good. There is only infinite, unlimited unlimited love, peace, abundance, and wisdom. And I declare with absolute certainty that the right action, the right timing, perfect clarity, intuition, and wisdom are present at all times and in all circumstances, because God is present. The events of our days unfold with ease, and every choice and decision is leading us to where we need to be right at this precise time. Every challenge is a gift. It's a gift, an invitation to make us who we need to be. And so I know that as Jack is facing surgery, the medical team that is working with him are exactly where they need to be, doing what they have been trained to do. I know that he is divinely held. He is safe. His body knows what it has to do to repair itself, to heal, to return to restored health. I know that this is the truth for Jack. It is also the truth for Rick. And we continue to lift him up and hold him in our prayers as he continues his healing process. We know that he is supported and loved by Renee. We know that he is surrounded by a wonderful medical team who is working to restore his body to a state of perfect health and perfection. And in this moment, we want to recognize and honor a heavenly birthday to Julie's grandmother, who was born in 1902, Henrietta McFadden. And we honor the legacy and the love that she has passed on to her family. And also Julie's great-grandmother, who had a heavenly birthday, born in 1906, Ida McFadden. Let us all take a moment and think about where we are in life. We are here because of our ancestors who persevered and who loved. We wouldn't be here without that. And we honor and recognize all the wonderful words of wisdom, all the love and compassion and support that they passed on through the generations that brought us to this moment here and now. I am so filled with the complete truth in this wonderful, wonderful, loving process, this journey that we are on. And I am so grateful to live in this good and to witness the divine love that is right here, right now. I am so grateful for my awareness and the understanding of the law. And I am so very thankful to be here with each and every one of you, our dear friends, our creative thinkers, our problem solvers, our co-creators, this sacred community. And so I release my word into the law, knowing that even before I speak, it is already so. It is already done. And so it is. And now let's return to some music by Leah.
Thank you, Tamara. And in keeping with your invitation, I'm going to share some music. What was I going to say? I want to know what music is, and hopefully this will qualify. All we really need is, all we really need is, all we really need is, all we really need is more love. All we really need, all we really need is love. is love. All we really need is, all we really need is, all we need is love. 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 Everybody needs to get more love. Everybody needs to give more love. Everybody needs to feel more love. More love, more love. Everybody needs to get more love. And everybody needs to give more love. Everybody needs to feel more love. More love, more love. Everybody needs to give more love. More love, more love, more love, more love, more love. All we need, all we need, all we need, all we need is love.
And now is the time to bless the donations that are shared today at CSL Leesburg. We believe in the law of circulation, so we are a tithing community. The donation shared with our center blesses everyone who gives and those who receive. Your donation helps our center, our CSL home organization, as well as organizations that support our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. We're always looking for suggestions of organizations that we should consider, so go to our website and click Give. Please look at our screen and you'll see ways that works for everyone. And the way that works best for you. You can go to our website as well and click the donate button. We thank you for our support no matter how you are giving. If you take that gift physically or mentally, place it over your heart and join us in our affirmation of oneness. The Spirit and the presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the lives of everyone I contact. Therefore, I'm a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. Okay, now it's time for announcements. I'm not seeing any announcements, so I think that we are going to move along to our affirmations. Oh, wait a second, I see some. Oh, So we have a new YouTube offering. There is the sacred healing frequencies you can check out. Use the QR code. And you can see, I'm sure Charlene created these amazing frequencies that can guide you as you meditate and maybe take a break and check in with yourself and check out these videos. I did check one of them out and it was amazing. I can't wait to check out these others as well. And I like that they vary in time, but mainly around the half-hour mark. So it's kind of like gets you started and helps you really sink in to the frequencies. So I'm looking forward to check that out. All right. So let us do our end our sacred time together. And let's place our hearts, our hands over our heart and say together. I know Tamara likes us to unmute, and it's a kind of a cool effect when everyone does it. So I invite everyone to unmute and say, I am love.
I
I am love.
So apropos for today's message as well. And You are love. Point to someone near you or all the members in the screen and say, you are love.
You
You are love.
are love.
Now put your hands up in the air for some love sprinkles and say, it's all love.
It's all
All
love.
If you can stay for a few more minutes, please feel free to join us as we share our pearls, those little nuggets from our service that spoke to your hearts and minds. If you're a visitor, please stay and introduce yourself. We'd love the opportunity to officially greet you. If you have to leave us, we know that you will have a day filled with love, joy, and blessings. Thank you for joining.